Welcome to this installment of the Straight Edge Game Room, where in the intro I pay homage to Classic Game Room, a online video game review show that has inspired Straight Edge Game Room. I started Straight Edge Game Room as a experimental recreational project during a time when Mark Bussler was not reviewing video games, and that was quite a few years, but now he's back. I don't know if Mark has seen any of my videos. If he has, he's probably like, Who is this guy? Straight Edge Game Room. This whippersnapper, he's probably never played Truxton. I bet he's never caressed some glorious wood grain. Who is this amateur Straight Edge Game Room? Is that like Classic Game Room if it were on Radio Disney? Psh, I'm just messing around. Any case, here's the Oregon Trail Micro Arcade. If you are a younger Gen X or a elder millennial, you may have played this on the Apple II computer at elementary school. I'm sorry to inform you that this is a demake of that Apple II version. How can you make a demake of something so simple? Well, this Micro Arcade version managed to do just that. This version kept all the tedious formalities of the original, the long text that you have to read, the preparation for the trail, and all that other boring stuff. Most of the educational computer games that they had at school were kind of a chore, but the ones that all the kids wanted to play were Number Munchers, Word Munchers, and the Oregon Trail. And I remember we used to huddle around the old Apple II computer, and we would put our names in as the traveling party, and we would fill in the rest of that column with names that we made up, and none of us made it to Oregon. Everybody died on the way. This version of Oregon Trail has all the landmarks and the music that comes with it when you reach those areas. I remember on the Apple II, your ox and your wagon were animated. It was very slight, but it had some animation to it. This has none. Be sure to read up on the text before crossing any rivers. It'll give you an idea of how deep it is before you cross, and you can choose whether you want to pay for a ferry or cock your wagon and float it across, or just walk across it. Some of the same old hazards from the old game carried over to this one that will hold you back a few days. The biggest disappointment in this version of Oregon Trail is the hunting. In the Apple II version of this game, you could walk around and shoot at animals from different angles in different areas. But in this one, you're stationary, you can't move around, and whether you successfully shot anything or not, you only take back 100 pounds of food. So this part of the game is a complete waste. At each landmark that you reach, you can choose to talk to people, but not too many of them say anything that's all that helpful. It seems like after you leave Independence Rock, one by one, members of your party start getting sick and die. I never made it to Oregon as a kid, and I still haven't made it 30 years later. Now I'm dead. In the original, you can write an epitaph on your headstone, not in this one. The Micro Arcade version of the Oregon Trail is a quirky demake of the original that we played on the Apple II computer as kids. I can't complain too much since I picked this up for only $5, but I can't recommend this one. If you want to introduce this game to the youngins, I don't recommend Micro Arcade. You might want to emulate this game, or go through the trouble of getting an Apple II computer and finding this game somewhere on eBay. Well, that concludes this episode of the Straight Edge Game Room. More episodes are on the way. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. If you have any suggestions for what video games or video game accessories I should review, please drop it down in the comments below.